Now, I am here to tell you guys the moment has came. Early this morning, Kelsey Mitchell sent shockwaves throughout the WNBA today, and the news has broken ground, dog. Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever will keep their backcourt for the 2025 season.
Did you catch what just went down in Indiana? The Fever didn't just re-sign Kelsey Mitchell. They shook up the entire WNBA. Nearly everyone expected her to bowl for Golden State or another title contender, but she's staying put. Why is this a game changer? Imagine Mitchell, one of the league's elite scorers, joining forces with rookie sensation Caitlin Clark. That backcourt is going to be electrifying, and the competition isn't ready. The rumors had her leaving, but instead, Mitchell just sent a loud and clear message to the rest of the WNBA.
Oh my God.
You might be wondering why this move is such a big deal. Well, Kelsey Mitchell isn't just any player. She's a scoring machine. Last season, she put up 19.2 points per game while shooting an impressive 47% from the field. That's not just great, that's elite. But it doesn't stop there. Her durability is almost unheard of. Since 2018, she's suited up for 235 out of 240 games, proving she's as reliable as she is dominant.
Kelsey Mitchell re-signs with the Indiana Fever. So the best backcourt in the WNBA is back.
You're probably wondering what this means for the rest of the league. Well, buckle up. This is just the beginning. Mitchell's decision to stay in Indiana isn't just about loyalty. It's about building something special. Remember when the Fever were overlooked? Those days are over. They defied expectations by making the playoffs last season, and now they're not just putting together a team, they're setting the stage for a future dynasty.
What's up, everybody? Kelsey Mitchell here, and I'm a Fever girl again. So to my fans, to the basketball world, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back. Indy has been good to me, and hopefully I can pour in and give the same. So here's a bit of Fever girl.
Imagine this, Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark running the backcourt. That's not just a dynamic duo, it's a defensive nightmare. Mitchell's elite off-ball movement and scoring ability make her the perfect complement to Clark's playmaking and shooting. Add Aliyah Boston dominating the paint, and the Fever aren't just building a team, they're creating something truly special.
The best backcourt in the WNBA remains intact because Kelsey Mitchell is back, staying with the Indiana Fever and going back-to-back with that backcourt with Caitlin Clark. Of course, Mitchell had been with Indiana her entire career. There was some speculation that she might want to explore other options, but there's no better option for Kelsey than playing along C-squared, as she calls her.
The rest of the league might not see it yet, but they will soon. The Fever aren't just aiming for a playoff spot, they're coming for a championship. The Aces and the rest of the WNBA better take notice because Indiana is building something dangerous. And the Pacers celebrating Mitchell's return. That's not just a gesture, it's a statement. The Fever are no longer underdogs. They're a rising powerhouse ready to take over.
Because Kelsey Mitchell had the most notoriety of her career, the easiest time of her career on the court, and now has a chance to compete for championships with that core alongside Clark and, of course, Aliyah Boston.
You might be wondering, Mitchell and Clark sound great on paper, but how will it actually work on the court? Well, let me tell you, this isn't just a good fit, it has the potential to be a game changer. We're looking at what could be one of the most electrifying backcourts the WNBA has ever seen.
They're going to win a lot more games. They're going to just wreak havoc throughout this league. And I believe they're going to beat the Las Vegas Aces this season.
Picture this. Kelsey Mitchell, a scoring machine who can drain shots from anywhere on the floor. She's not just a shooter. She's a relentless offensive weapon. Then there's Caitlin Clark, a human highlight reel who makes magic happen every time she touches the ball. But the real beauty of this duo isn't just their individual brilliance. It's how seamlessly their skills complement each other. This isn't just a talented backcourt. It's a matchup nightmare waiting to unfold.
And the idea Mitchell would want to go anywhere else was always a little odd. It was always a little strange because, again, she became a much bigger star. She shined in the role. Her life was made easier on the court, and she gained so many new fans because of how gifted a bucket getter she is.
Mitchell is a dynamic off-ball scorer, capable of catching and shooting, making sharp cuts to the rim, and spacing the floor with ease. Meanwhile, Clark is a playmaking genius who can create scoring opportunities out of thin air. Need proof? During her senior year at Iowa, she averaged 8.2 assists per game. That's not just impressive, it's record-breaking. Together, they're not just a great duo, they're a backcourt built to dominate.
Right, like the downside to losing Kelsey Mitchell would have been tremendous. And now they've got the new coach in Stephanie White, which was obviously a huge, big deal. And they've got that core. And I know I've said this before and I've been hammering the point home, but that foundation is in place.
Now, imagine trying to defend that. Focus too much on Clark, and Mitchell will make you regret it with a quick score. Lock in on Mitchell, and Clark will find the open teammate for an easy bucket. It's like playing whack-a-mole with scoring machines. And let's not forget Aaliyah Boston controlling the paint. This trio is a nightmare for any defense. They attack from every angle, making it nearly impossible to stop.
She was there when they got the number 1 pick, and Caitlin Clark, obviously not a good team. The team that gets the number 1 pick in the draft is not a good team. That's a general rule. Something you could take to the bank. And then all of a sudden they're in the playoffs.
Here's the thing. Some people still don't get it. They're focused on Mitchell and Clark as individuals, overlooking how they'll elevate the Fever's fast-paced offense. Both are lethal in transition and can finish strong at the rim. The days of doubting the Indiana Fever are officially over. Last season, they shocked everyone by making the playoffs despite facing significant challenges. Now, with Stephanie White improving their defense, they're not just a playoff team, they're a legitimate threat.
At the same time, this is a situation that allows someone to be destined to thrive. Destined to thrive. You get to play a once-in-a-lifetime player in Caitlin Clark who brings once-in-a-lifetime attention. An organization that knows what they're doing, where you've been, where you're going to be celebrated.
You might be thinking, so they made the playoffs? What's the big deal? But here's the truth. The Fever aren't just trying to sneak in anymore. They're building something much bigger that could shake the entire league to its core. With young stars like Clark and Boston, seasoned veterans like Mitchell, and a coach who knows how to bring it all together, they're creating the perfect mix. And the rest of the league? They don't even see it coming.
As for Stephanie White, she's a basketball guru. She comes in, implement a whole new style, and fix the biggest problem on the team, which was defense. They're going to make it a hell of a lot further than what they did last year, bro.
Here's the kicker. Everyone's focused on the Fever's offense, but they're overlooking the most important factor. Stephanie White isn't just talking about improving their defense. She's got a secret weapon that's about to turn this team into a nightmare for opponents. So, what is it? A new scheme, a fresh approach, or something unexpected that'll have you thinking, why didn't I think of that? Whatever it is, it's coming, and it's going to catch the league off guard.
So there you have it. Kelsey Mitchell back with the Indiana Fever. Really exciting news for fans of the team, because I think that was the only thing that was needed to make free agency a success, if you will. Not a smashing success as of yet, because they still have to upgrade the rest of the roster, but that was the move that needed to happen. That was the move that they needed to solidify for it not to be a failure. She'll get a ton of all-star votes. She'll sell a ton of jerseys. She'll have her life made easier with the passes she receives, the defenses she faces because of the attention of the other players. She'll get to go off, and she's fun to watch. Like, look, I don't care where Kelsey was playing. She's fun to watch, fast. Got that boogie in her game. Brilliant to watch in that regard. Bucket getter, born bucket getter.
This is major because, for the simple fact, let's say they don't decide to get anybody. They still made the playoffs last year. We know they could have done a hell of a lot better if it wasn't for Christy Size kind of sabotaging the team a little bit, allegedly. All the Indiana Fever need is a bench. They get a good solid bench, and a good point forward that can shoot. They good, bro. At the end of the day, that is what I believe they need to compete for a championship.